friends. I'm a business owner, a creative, and a person who is extremely interested in how things grow, whether it's a company, a habit, or an idea. I've built brands from ground up, and I'm still in the middle of figuring things out. Today, I want to share a story that really stuck with me this week. Something that will remind you that consistency matters more than perfection. How solving your own problem can lead to an opportunity, and why the tiniest daily actions are the most powerful. We'll talk about market saturation or the myth of it, growing expertise, guilt around rest, and why the key is showing up consistently, imperfectly, but consistently. So let's get going. So there are two things I've been going up to lately, and they've been showing up consistently everywhere, in business and life, and in every small choice that I make. The first thing is, I truly believe that there is no such thing as an oversaturated market if you're good at what you do. And as you grow, you don't just compete in existing spaces. You start creating your own space, your own niche, and eventually your own market. And the second is this: if you want something to grow, you have to give it your attention, and you should do it consistently and not only when you feel motivated and energized. Every single day. Here is what brought all of this into focus for me this week. I started following a new blogger in Instagram who was battling with hair loss, and she was sharing her hair regrowth journey in real time. A year ago, she was losing her hair rapidly. It was thinning, she started having bald spots, she couldn't recognize herself. And at this point, she realized that she had to take an action. She got curious about how she can deal with it, and she started making her own research, and she started experimenting a lot. She experimented with different products like Japanese hairbrush, various oils and serums, expensive and not expensive. Over a year, she ended up creating a nightly self-care routine where she spent about 20 minutes massaging her hair and just taking care of her hair and skin. And guess what? She didn't fix it overnight, but she started noticing small improvements, and that kept her going. So she kept learning, she kept adding new products to her hair care routine, and she spent time with herself and her beauty on a daily basis, and she kept showing up for herself. And she realized that she was the most important priority that she had. A year later, her hair was shiny, thick, healthy, and very long. Not only did she transform her appearance, but she also proved to herself that whatever she was doing was working. Naturally, people started asking her how she achieved that result. So she decided to share, but not for free. She created a private channel, shared her exact routine and the products that she used, and charged money for it. 2,000 people paid to learn what she had figured out. And I'm one of them. Not because she was a celebrity or doctor or had a perfect formula, but because she actually gone through it, and we looked at her doing it in real time. And that story really stuck with me. And here is why. It's exactly how I feel about the projects that I'm working on right now. I've been giving so much weight to every tiny decision, like obsessing over which mug to choose for a collection, or if that one choice will determine a success or failure of the entire thing. But the truth is, it won't. Any of the mugs I'm considering will probably work out just fine. What actually matters is that I keep experimenting, stay curious, and continue learning. That I treat each day like a small step forward, even when it doesn't feel like flashy or important. And maybe one day when I figure something out, something that works, something that feels real, I can share it. Maybe even charge for it, just like she did. Because value doesn't come from perfection. It comes from paying attention and staying engaged and showing up again and again and again. And on the top of that, I'll be honest, I had more days off than usual recently. And instead of enjoying the break with my MBA, with a slow season in my business, with 4th of July, long weekend being here, I was feeling guilty. Like I was falling behind. Like if I'm not in my work routine, I'm losing ground. And worse, that while I'm resting, someone else is making progress and going to be ahead of me. But here is the thing I keep reminding myself. My husband and I both worked at a large Silicon Valley tech and medical companies. And guess what? Their processes are a mess. They're falling behind on their projects. They're changing priorities on the go. There is miscommunication between different departments. And I honestly was questioning how they're meeting their margins every year because the processes were a mess. But things still worked somehow. So no, we small business owners don't need to beat ourselves up for not being perfectly organized or having it all figured out. The big guys don't either. They just have bigger pockets. So wherever you are right now, whether you're starting something, stuck in the middle, or just trying to rest, don't get lost in the pressure to be perfect. You don't have to have every answer. You don't have to make every decision flawlessly. And moreover, right now at this point in life where you are, you don't know what decision is a flawless one. Only the time will show you the result of your actions. And every decision that you make is the best one that you can do considering the circumstances. So don't be too focused on trying to find the right answer, because most of the time there is no such thing as a right answer. Things are changing every time. They're changing daily. There is no one else just like you. So that the only thing that all of us have left is just to stay curious, keep showing up, look at our life as a game where every decision that we make is not as important as you think it is. You just need to stay interested, engaged in this game, stay in motion, learn from your past experiences, but don't condition your future experiences based on your past, which is a different topic. And that's how things grow. That's how you grow. And that's how eventually you might create something that's not just yours, but might be valuable to others too. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a great time off or vacation, or you just enjoy your summer and you don't beat yourself up for taking some rest, because we small entrepreneurs need rest to stay sane and mentally healthy. Take care.